What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, with the recent dip in prices, or I guess asset value specifically for the tokens, SPS and DEC, we have seen a slowdown in the amount of Rebellion packs being purchased and the flywheel action. But more importantly, I think that this is worth pointing out. We talked about this briefly on today's live stream, but I thought I would kind of elaborate a little bit more with the video here. So you can see that the estimated value has now come down to $3.76. It's only a penny higher than what the packs are going for on the secondary market, which means the arbitrage is gone. We're probably not going to see too many more packs get purchased, at least not, from an arbitrage standpoint. So this is kind of the equilibrium that we're set at now. And I'm not trying to point this out and say that it's a negative. It's just a reality, right? That's what it is. We knew that this day would come, but for whatever reason, and you could ascribe whatever reasons you want to it, some may be true, some may be not true, right? Like maybe Rebellion's an underpowered set, or maybe people just don't want to spend, or maybe blah, 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 right? Whatever the case is, it slowed down a bit. So that got me thinking. Of how do I want to play Splinterlands in the long term, right? I'm always trying to think a little bit longer term here. And again, this is just for me. I'm not telling you what to do. This is not financial advice. But for myself, one thing that I am starting to consider, haven't fully committed to it yet, but one thing that I'm starting to consider in the long run is if we start to see, especially these prices come down, I haven't yet aped into Rebellion. And in fact, I don't even have a fully maxed Chaos set, right? No Chaos Legion, no Chaos Legion rewards. Well, actually, no, I do have the Chaos Legion reward cards, but no Rift Watchers. I am barely maxed out with my Chaos Legion core set for gold, but definitely not maxed fully. And then obviously Rift Watchers is a premium set. So at this point in time, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I have X amount of capital that I'm going to be putting forth, not as an investment, but as a gaming budget, right? So just as a gaming budget over the next couple of months or over the next year, the thought process is at some point, and I talked about this in a video yesterday, at some point, probably by 2025, sometime in 2025, Chaos and Rift Watchers are going to rotate out and we're going to get a new core set, which would be fascinating because if we continue to burn as much Rebellion as we are burning now and people just aren't buying as much, it is, in my opinion, going to feel like the Untamed of 2025, right? So essentially like what we had in 2021, where Untamed, we rotated, right? Untamed, if you had those cards, they were the top tier cards, and then everybody was rushing in to get, Chaos Legion as soon as it launched. So if we get a launch of whatever the next core set will be, and there's not too many Rebellion core sets out there, it could make for a very interesting time period. So the question that I have to ask myself is, okay, am I okay playing at gold level, being somewhat competitive here right now, that I do not spend any more on Chaos and Rift Watchers? It's just, I'm going to throw in the towel, I'm going to land it wherever I'm going to land, and I'm going to do my best with the cards and the collection that I have, but any additional gaming budget that I put forth towards the game will go towards building out my Rebellion set so that in 2025, right, whenever we get to that point, and hopefully SPS will be higher, hopefully there'll be a lot more game features and things like that. When we get to that point, I will actually be in a position where I have a maxed Rebellion set. And so what's interesting with that is this is something that we're obviously tracking as we go along here, but you can see that Rebellion, right, the set value is now down to a little bit over 7,000, right, 7,100, which if you think about it, we were at 8,000 not too long ago, a little bit above 8,000. So this is like a 12% decrease in value. Granted, there's not as much liquidity in the market, so I don't know that you'd be able to go buy 400 BCX of each card at the low BCX price. But all I'm trying to say is, let's say Rebellion holds its value for the remainder of the life cycle. Well, over time, you'd be able to collect 400 BCX at whatever level, right? And again, I'm not talking about aping in right now. I'm talking about slowly DCAing my way in and building up my Rebellion set while totally leaving Chaos Legion as something that's like, you know what? I'm just not even going to focus on it anymore. It's good enough to get me in gold. It's probably actually good enough to get me in diamond if I really tried, but it's good enough to get me through gold into gold 1. I'm competitive for now. I'm going to build up my Rebellion set in gold and then maybe even max it out so that come 2025, when Chaos, when Rift Watchers, when all the reward cards associated and the promo cards associated with rotate out, I will be set with Rebellion. And again, it's just a thought that I'm considering now as we start to see the prices stabilize, normalize. We're at this new equilibrium. And again, I would love to see Rebellion hold its value. I'm not saying that I want to see it come down. I'm just saying that if it does come down, well, then I get to kind of DCA and lower my average buy-in as we go along. Now, that being said, I've bought 2 Rebellion cards in total, right? So 1 BCX of each. I made a video for it. I do plan on buying more as we go along, and especially ones that I start to get beat by consistently. But now I'm starting to consider, well, if there's deals, right, or if I see decent value on cards that are still, part of the meta, but cards that I know that can help me now and will have value, again, not monetary value, but value in the long run, that like no matter what, this card is going to be powerful for the meta, even if the meta changes, right? Even if the cards change, we go to a whole new thing, like the card in and of itself, right? So things like weapons training or whatever the ability sets or cards that we have out there. So that's something that I'm considering now, and I wanted to just run it by you guys to see if anybody else is considering the same thing. Because now I wonder, it's almost like I'm shifting the goalpost, right? Because I felt this way with Untamed. I did not get into Untamed during the 2021 hype cycle, and I said, all right, I'm going to max out my Chaos Legion cards. And now I'm sitting here, Chaos Legion isn't necessarily at the lowest possible. We can go and see where Chaos Legion, actually, you know what? It's pretty damn low. So to max out a Chaos Legion set, it's less than $2,000. So, I mean, I guess I could, but my gaming budget isn't unlimited. So therefore, now I'm trying to like future-proof my collection, future-proof my gaming by saying I'm happy in gold. So if I'm going to start spending, what I want to do is start spending and buying for Rebellion in the future. But again, that's just my thought. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but I'm wondering if anybody else has given any thought to this. Here's Rift Watchers, for example. Rift Watchers actually started to go up, which means that, I'm not going to spend $3,600 or $3,700 to max out my Rift Watcher set. Maybe I'll get a card here or there, but for the most part, now I'm just like, well, let me see which cards are part of the a super part of the meta for Rebellion. And instead of buying, $30, $50 Rift Watcher cards or spending any more money on Chaos Legion, I just go straight to Rebellion. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below if this is something that you guys are considering, or if you still want to go back and max out everything else for Chaos Legion. I would love to know if I'm being crazy or if this is a viable strategy as a long-term kind of outlook on Splinterlands. And when I say long-term, I'm talking about next 18 to 24 months of how I want to play this out as a player in the game. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.